Hello and welcome back to Warcraft Explorations. In this video we will use Karazhan again in order to explore the outside of the inside of the dungeon. Wow! That sounds strange. Basically we will use the same method as before. We will go to the spot after the Shade of Iran, and then we will jump out of the instance or out of the tower, and we will go to the east side of, we will go east of the tower, in the direction of the blasted lands. There is not much to see, but there's a, well, little snippet we will have a short look at, and then we will go back to the tower and go another time outside, and the second time we will go in the direction, in the westbound direction. So now we are here again. We used the cat sprint in order to jump over, so we didn't need to use our goblin glider, and now we will jump out and we'll move to the east of the tower. So here we also need to make sure we don't run into the instance or fly or glide into the instance again, but if you use this direction it should be fine. And now we land here and we can mount up and run to that spot I'd like to show you. It is quite close, so it won't take so much time. Now we need to carefully... there it is. You can see those statues. You maybe know from the Dark Portal or the Blasted Lands itself. Now is the question, how do we get down there? The glider is still on cooldown, but well, we are a druid, or I'm a druid, and I should be able to use cat form to land down there and not die. You should have the glyph of slow fall, which reduces the falling damage, which I just put in. So now we should get less fall damage, and you should ease your way down with the backside first, because then you don't jump, you won't make a big jump when you going down. If you would have done that while forward motion, you would be too fast, and the little jump that we made up there would thrown us down to there, and then you would have died. Alternatively, you could use slow fall mechanics of a mage or a priest, or have a slow fall potion, or use a goblin glider or a parachute package, which you can get from an engineer. Yes, and this is basically the spot in vanilla. There was a elite mob you could defeat in order to further quest chain, which ended in fighting a really hard fight on the top on a mountain in the Blasted Lands. It should somewhere over there. Yeah, and this is basically a shrine to God who knows who. Um, yeah, so now you might think, how we go back there? We could use the Hearthstone to get out of here, or we could try to jump to our death, because there is no way you can climb up the mountain to get out of here. But there is a little, well, I don't want to call it trick, but since a few patches ago you can use teleport to Moonglade to basically well, reset your position, and not in a way you might imagine, but first we teleport to Moonglade. The important thing is you shouldn't leave Moonglade at all, but when you now cast teleport to Moonglade again, you will be teleported to the point where you started from. But since we were in an instance, we will be brought to the nearest graveyard near the instance we were at. This is nice for exploration, and one of the reasons why I use a druid for this, other than the slow fall and the faster moving abilities a druid has. So now we go back in, and we will explore the western side of the outside of the instance. We will therefore go back to the, well, jump off spot. Quickly, whilst using some abilities of faster moving. But you can basically use any class for these explorations if you have the glider and the slow fall parachute. If you don't have class mechanics that enables you to do so. So now we jump up here again, like before, and activating our speed and jumping over. So now we will move to the right, as you've seen in a preview video when we did go and explored what's around the tower. This is basically Zul Group, or part of Zul Group, and now we will go to Duskwood. Yes, indeed. Whoops, wrong button. We will simply climb up the mountains here, and we carefully walk around here. You can also go the other way around that mountain ridge, but I think we go up here. Because those of you who played in Classic will maybe know this area, because this is the area where you would go when you climbed up a mountain in not Stone what's it called? Strangleton, or in Duskwood itself. You can climb up the mountains in order to get behind Zul Group. That could be done in Classic, and basically I just used the way that was used for it, and we get out at the mine, which is near to this city. I don't know. Oh no, we can't look at the map. Let's wait a second. Eastern Kingdoms. Oh God, what's it called in English? Dark, whatever. Darkhain. Sorry, I don't know the English name. So this is basically the mine where now there should be wagons around here. In classic there was gnolls, I think. I'm not so sure. And now let's have a look around what we can find around here. Ah, yes, indeed, the chapel with the undead minions around here, which were quite hard in classic. One fun fact: if you get to the chapel here, when the time at what's it called? At the round hour, I mean 1400 or 1300, then you will hear the bells of the chapel ring, which is quite eerie if you don't expect it. So then next move on over there. This is the area where you did get a quest to find a mirror, if I remember correctly, from a ghost. And the ghost did not know that she was a ghost. It's a bit... I don't know really if that was the case, but I think that was it. And then should here... yeah, genau. A little graveyard. I don't know, is that still in game, this part? I think so. So then we have here a barn. Barn. Which you can also go into, look around, nothing there to see basically. Like in the outside world, nothing to see. In that house also nothing to see. But some interesting fact is you will have sound effects there as well. As you can hear the thingy blowing air in, or the fires inside the houses, also the fireplaces should have sound effects, as you can clearly hear. And if we go into the tavern music should start, if we are lucky. Ha! Indeed. And another thing around here, it looks like you can go down there, but sadly you can't, because the ground area is here, but it's invincible. Invincible? Invisible. Invisible, nicht invincible. Yeah. That's it. And when you leave the tavern, it should stop and change again? Slowly? Yes. Now we have basically the music from outside of Karazhan. Here we have fireplace again with sound effects. So now you need to be careful when you're in the house, in these houses, and jump around. Last time I jumped down there and I got disconnected, so you maybe should avoid that. Now let's go to the flight point that is behind this house and have a look over there. You can clearly see all the road textures and the ground textures are missing. Aber is not the right word, but the houses are still in the same place as in the outside area. Also with outside area I always mean the area not inside the instance. Whoops, wrong button again. But yes, outside the instance. In this area there should be a quest giver outside the instance. As you can see, there's no one here. And if you go this way around, you should come to a memorial, I guess. And here can spawn, at this place a rare mob can spawn outside of the dungeon, of course. A little waterfall. And two another additional waterfalls, which should go into Redridge. I don't know. Could flow into Redridge at that point. But as you can see on the minimap, the map ends there. Let's move in that direction here. I didn't check for it the last time I was there, but I don't know if the house of Stalvan is in here. It is. This is the house of the quest line of Stalvan. This was also quite hard in Classic because that mob was elite, an elite mob, which would very easily smash your face in, because in Classic times you don't had that much HP that you have now. So, and let's go to the end of the map here. The pathway is also still the same as it is outside of the instance, just without all the features that was been added later. And well, you don't need to be too careful around here because you can't jump outside this dungeon, so we can walk around here and explore a bit. If you find something else, let me know. Yeah, and I would say we end this video at this point and see you next time. Bye!